Hi, everyone. Mike White here. Welcome to this week's vlog post. Hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving week. I hope momentum is still rolling strong in your neck of the woods and that we're still engaged because we still have about 12 days left to take a loan application and get it done, get it closed by the end of the year. And of course, I know there's some of you that are out there that don't have the ability um, to turn a loan that quickly or involved in a system that can get things done that way. And clearly, that's a conversation that we can have later on as to why uh, what you're doing and how you're doing it can't make that happen. But for now, we have to look at this and say, there are many people who have the ability out there in today's market to, take in a loan application in the next, week to 10 days or so, and get it done by the end of the year, even though we're dealing with Christmas and New Year's on Wednesdays and a restrictive calendar to some degree. But the reality of it is at this time of the year, people don't realize the advantages of this market. And it really breaks down into two different groups of people. Those people who are done for the year for whatever reason they choose, and those people who are still out there getting things done. And for those that are done, you know, that I guess that's okay. And you need to know why you're done. You need to know the reasons why you feel like there's nothing left to do this year. And for those of you who are still getting it done, you really need to be active on the phone, communicating in person with people, your clients, your referral partners, the people in your sphere of influence to let them know that you're there, you're working, you're getting things done. You still have the ability to put deals together and get them done by the end of the year. For those people that it becomes important because you have to remember buyers who are actively engaged in the system right now who want to go see property in the month of December, that's a buyer that's serious about buying. There's lots of other things they could be doing, but if they're out there wanting to see property this time of year, they're probably pretty serious. The same thing holds true with a seller. A seller that's got their property listed and is willing to show their home in the month of December is probably a seller who's serious about selling their home. And when you start to think about it, if we're starting to match up serious buyers with serious sellers, we're likely to be able to be put into a position where we can get things to come together. Um, and what comes together when you match a motivated buyer with a motivated seller is a deal. And isn't that what we're all looking forward to? And the finding the seriousness in this market is really pretty simple. You ask them. You've got a list of pre-approved buyers in your system. Um, are you talking to them every week, and are they still seeing property? Rule number one is we speak to our pre-approvals every week, and we ask if they're seeing property, and if they're not, we find out from their agent why not, right? We just ask them if they're seriously looking for property. Now, if the answer is, well, my agent hasn't called me to show me property, well, then we call the agent and we ask them, what are the houses in their price range? What are the houses that meet their criteria that are currently listed for sale? How many have they seen? How many have you talked to about getting them in to see those properties? And let's go down that pathway because again, it becomes real easy for people this time of the year just to phone it in and say, well, okay, it's that time of year. More people are interested in, shopping and holiday parties and whatever, or they bought into the myth that nothing happens this time of the year. And nothing could be further from the truth. The industry, when it gets focused on these gatherings, and there's nothing wrong with holiday parties, and I suggest that you take part in the festivities for sure. But the reality of it is it's not just throw your hands up in the air and we'll see you back in, after January 6th, because that's, we're a month away from that. And you're going to flush an entire month of the year away just because of a premise that is really unfounded. If you knew how many transactions were actually going to go under contract in the next few weeks, if you knew how many deals were actually going to come together and close in the next few weeks, why aren't they yours? Because if other people in your marketplace are willing to take the month of December off, you should be the one willing to work and take advantage of them not working. Because again, the conversations and the people that you talk to now might very well not buy a house by the end of this month, but they'll remember that you spoke to them and maybe it becomes a deal that goes together in January and that you continue your momentum going forward. So just keep that in mind as we approach the next few weeks. It gets really easy to, buy into the concept that nothing's happening. There's nothing, worse in this industry as far as I'm concerned, than those people who just capitulate and believing the mass number of people who will find any excuse to go to a party as opposed to picking up the phone and calling a client. Today, tomorrow, big days for the bond market. The bond market has shown, steady improvement, albeit slow but steady. We've moved from one band of about 50 to 100 basis points in pricing. Out of that, the bond market has been improving slowly. We're anticipating the market reactions as they continue to improve in favor. It appears that the markets are happy with the pick for Treasury Secretary, which is a big thing in our industry. So we're going to get unemployment numbers this morning. We're going to get continuing claims this morning, probably even a more important number to look at. Tomorrow is the jobs report. You know as well as I do that jobs report can say or do anything. It's probably the most flawed report in government, next to the Defense Department audits. Probably the least reliable sets of numbers that we can get. But you know what happens? They're putting that report out there, and some people in the marketplace are going to respond to whatever those numbers say. So you have to pay attention to those things are happening. And again, you've got 10, 12 days left to put deals together for the end of the year. And that means deals together for your agents as well, who may be one deal off reaching some level of status in their company, some level of achievement that might be important to them. And you're never going to know if you don't pick up the phone in the next couple of days and ask to see what you can do to help them go forward. Obviously, if you have questions or comments, it's Mike, imtcoaching.com. Talk to you again real soon. Take care.